Dear Collective, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. This channel is dedicated to your healing and your spiritual journey from trauma. Today, I'm so happy to invite my soul sister Patty and Gabby from my meetup group. Following is the discussion about how we positively face our soul-felt reality, how we connect deeply within ourselves, and how we have learned about ourselves through this journey. Also, I want to apologize for not pushing the record button on time. The first few seconds have been missed. However, the most important part of the conversation remains. Please enjoy and please share this link with anyone who is in need and on this journey.
I really took to heart that I needed to take care of myself. So after recovering from being ill for almost 3 years, I made myself a priority. And because I have 2 older, they're adult kids, but they're still fairly demanding at times. I still find myself sometimes falling behind and forgetting about myself. But for the most part, I'm doing a lot better than what I used to do. And it is. You have to make yourself a priority. The realization that if you don't, you have nothing. You run out of gas. You run out of what you have to give. So you have to take that time. For women specifically in this country is a very difficult self-love lesson to learn, in that we're always taught, and it's because of our conditioning and our upbringing, that women are the ones that are supposed to sacrifice and take care of everyone. And so when we do that, we forget to take care of ourselves. So it is. And Gabby, honestly, you seem like a younger woman that can learn this lesson from the get-go and implement it into your life so that you don't have to go through things and learn the hard way. So yes, if you make yourself a priority, it is not selfish to have self-love and to take care of yourself. And when you do, you find that your life is much more imbalanced and you have enough for yourself and everyone else.
That's very true. What about that? Because we have gone through a lot of traumas and the trials and tribulations in our journey. So sometimes, God and team, the testing, they would test us to see how resilient we can be, and whether we can learn from these lessons and grow as a people that we are supposed to be. We are supposed to be the strong one, the warriors. So we are able to give back, to help others, because we are the leaders of this world. So how do you heal yourself? Truly that, and not gone to the path, to choose the dark or hate and the love, which is very, very hard to do, right?
Well, again, it goes back to truly, it does. And this is honestly, it's a continuing process. The self-love part is always a continuing process. Because again, yes, everything happens for a reason. That's one of my mottos. It happens for a reason. Especially I find that when I'm in the middle of something like that, I ask myself, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? What is the lesson that God is trying to show me here? Because everything that we go through, every trial, every tribulation, every trauma, there's something that we're supposed to learn. And as a result, grow from it and not repeat the same thing again. So you acknowledge this lesson, and as a result, you take what you can and you learn from it, and then you move forward and you grow some more. And again, this whole process is about continued growth. It's about unconditional love that you first have to have for yourself and then for others. But then it also, as a process, as you are continued to be challenged and you're faced with different things, traumas, tribulations, challenges. I like to call them challenges. I am a firm believer in putting a positive spin on as much as you can, because when you do, then you come out of it with a positive attitude and you look at it from the point of view that this was supposed to happen so that I would learn this from this lesson. So it's a mindset, it is. And again, Maria, as you know, in studying the mind, it takes 16 to 21 days to form a habit. So once you continually have that habit forming process and create those new neural pathways, then it is a little bit easier. But it is a process that you have to be consistent with in order to get there.
Thank you, Patty. And by the way, Gabby, Patty has 2 adult children. One of them, can I share this, Patty?
Sure, go ahead.
Has this autistic autism. So it's extremely hard for Patty to overcome or be the person who she is today. So I truly admire Patty's her strength and the love for and so patient. She's very, very patient with everyone around her. Herself is also a trainer as well. So she has a lot of tools in her toolboxes and still continue to thrive and be and share her learning, share her wisdom with the other people like me. So thank you for sharing your insights, Patty.
Always, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. But we are on the a little bit older version.
Yes.
But I would like to ask Gabby, how is your journey? Whether you have any challenges so far? Is anything that we can help you with at this time? Would you like to share your journey and any kind of and energy that you are seeking tools to release them?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me again tonight. And thank you for sharing, Patty. I really appreciate hearing from others and connecting with others who are on the same journey. So I appreciate being here. Yeah, so my journey started about 2 years ago to this week. And I'm 25 right now. It is such a process. A part of my healing journey and kind of spiritual awakening that has come along with it in my experience. There's a lot of life lessons I feel like I've had to face or chose to face with choosing healing, choosing this journey, that I feel like other people my age, at least in my experience with sharing it, may not relate unless they're going through their own journey. And I think some of the challenges with self-healing and letting go of negative energy and just understanding the energy and even being aware of it is I notice that I'm still very much influenced by my peers and the people I surround myself with. And there's times along my journey that I have so much more awareness of what I need, need to put myself first and prioritize myself and prioritize self-care, particularly. And some of those challenges could be feeling a bit of isolation socially from others, feeling motivated, and dealing with the depression that has in its own way come along with the journey, feeling a loss of living in the unaware and kind of the loss of my past version of myself. But it's been mostly inspirational to feel like I even have a voice, to feel like I am allowed to take care of myself and that I want to, really for the first time in my experience in my life. And so for me, it's really been about choices. One way I choose to let go and to release is through journaling. It's been something that I've been recommended for a long time, and I chose not to in the past. Didn't want to face it, didn't want to feel like I have to do something to release it. And just being around my family and being raised and taught to keep it internal and don't let it out, hold on to it almost, from my parents and other family members. So it's something that, like, letting go of the idea itself, to hold on and to keep it internalized. It's still a process for me. It's pretty exciting to just set intentions and to journal and to release my inner negativity that I've held on to. And it's also just seeing the disconnect with the people that I want to be close to with some of these topics. That has been a little hard. And I've also kind of realized everybody's an individual, and we all have our experiences. So we all do what we can, and it doesn't necessarily have to be shared for me to feel that connection still to others. It can be personal, and that's okay. Yeah, I'm learning to be okay with that.
Good, because in this journey of self-awareness, ascension, and healing, you are going to feel detached and alienated from some people, and I'm going to say even especially family members, because they're not on the same path that you are.
Yeah.
And they may not be enlightened and on a similar path to have that understanding. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there are going to be some that are and some that are not. The understanding that everybody is doing the best that they know how to do in this moment, that's where the acceptance is. And that by no means that you have to sacrifice or make yourself, your journey smaller or to suit anybody else. You're still able to continue on your path, just knowing that at this moment, there's not this understanding with this person, and that's okay. That acceptance in itself frees you from having to conform, there we go, to make yourself fit into where they are. That in itself is also a very healing, and that acceptance of self-awareness, in that they don't have to be where you are.
Absolutely.
Gabby, I learned this in my training courses, so that we come here to volunteer, to raise the vibration of the earth and to help people to ascend from 3D to 5D. So we have this called soul contract, which means and that our soul has agreed to help, to come here, to volunteer. So, and this realization has validated that how I feel the way I feel, because I always feel like this, why those things happen to me, and why I had to go through what I go through. And after this realization, I accept. Of course, after all these years of learning and growing, evolving, I fully understand and accept who I am, and accept this mission. Even though, like Patty said, that we have to sacrifice. We are enlightened, and we understand that the way the things happen for a reason, and for something is higher than us, for something is greater than us. So for that reason, I was honored. I was thrilled to know that I come here for a bigger purpose. So I hope you feel feeling that you are isolated, feel like you cannot communicate, or how to say this, talk about your inner world, what has happening to you, but you are not alone. That's the thing. Majority of the people, they are going through awakening. Actually, we should encouraging people to talk about it. So that's why we are doing what we're doing, is to help each other to grow and to communicate, to share our spiritual enlightenment, to learn the tools to soothe our soul and to heal at the same time. What do you think?
I really resonate with that. Hearing from others, kind of doing a little bit of my own research, especially on the topic of like a soul contact that you mentioned. It really resonates deep within when I hear that. And it does inspire me and help with those lonely feelings of like, wow, I'm going through this whole journey, and it's in my own world.
I used to feel, and I felt this at a very young age, that I was different. I was different than everybody else. My peers, and we're talking kids, you know, a lot of this I would observe even at a young age and watch how people acted and reacted, and I didn't resonate with what they were doing. I guess I would say I was more quiet and reserved, but at the same time, I knew that there was a spark in me. There was something different. And because I was gifted to have a talent, I was able to, I sing well. And so as a result, that's what brought light to me at that early age. And even to this day, some of those people that I still occasionally run into, I can see that I was definitely on a different path. And now it all makes sense. You know, when you're in this, sometimes it doesn't click, you know, why am I different? Why don't I fit into these cliques, if you will, like everybody else? And why do I feel like I'm special too? Knowing, even at that young age, there was an inner knowing that there was something different about me. That acceptance right there allows you to be open to have a better understanding even from a young age. So it is a process. Gabby, you already sound like you're well on your way, and you have a very good understanding of where you are in your process, and you acknowledge the things that resonate with you and that you can bring into your life and grow from. So I think you're on a good path.
Thank you. Thank you for saying this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. So it is really my honor to be able to share and discuss things with you. And I'm just so excited to see you are going to blossoming to the person that you truly are. Yeah. So
thank you.
You're so welcome. Is there anything we can help you with today? Is any question that you would like to for us to answer?
Yeah, for both of you, have you noticed feeling sort of like a different person? Especially, I mean, this is a lifelong journey, and depending on what age either of you started this journey and really had the awakening, do you feel different from how you felt in the past? How you just personality, or how you feel about yourself? Yeah.
Maria, I can go first. Absolutely. The person I am today, 10 years ago, I was not even close to what I am today. And I had a lot of influences along the way, specifically as I started on this path. There was one in particular, and I'll share this with you, Gabby. When I was 16 years old, my older brother was killed in a car accident, and that traumatized my entire family. My sister and I, for whatever reason, managed to handle it better than my brothers in our family, each of them having specific issues of not being able to cope and deal with life as a result. And each of them has had mental health issues as a result. And it wasn't until, I'm going to say, I can't remember specifically what year, but it was when, Maria, have you guys talked about the twin flame label at all or any of that?
No.
Okay. Well, it wasn't until this very special person came into my life and kept encouraging me to, he said, there's more out there. You have to know. Because I asked him point blank one time, I said, is this all there is? And he said, no, there's more out there, but you have to want it. Nobody's going to give it to you or hand it over to you. You have to go and get it yourself. And so when he told me that, I wasn't prepared to hear that answer because it just overwhelmed me. And I was like, whoa. So he encouraged me to reach outside myself and to do a lot of challenging things that I never thought I could do. One of them on a specific birthday, and Gabby, I will share with you. I will share with you my age because yes, I'm a little bit older than you are, and that's putting it kindly. I may not act it, but I am. That's my young spirit still inside of me coming out. But I'm going to be 60 this year. But when I turned 50, I went and did skydiving. For my 50th birthday, I went and jumped out of a plane, and that was the most alive I've ever felt in my life. I started doing long distance cycling as a result of this person's encouragement. And then after that, I became a certified spinning instructor. And in the process of doing all these things, I lost a ton of weight and really turned my life around to be a completely different person than what I was. And as a result of that, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a spinning instructor, and general manager of a gym. And I found that through my interactions with my clients that my desire to help them to see beyond what their limiting mind would allow them to see, that anything was possible. And I would encourage them and uplift them and show them and basically ignite a spark in them. And once that spark was lit, then there was no stopping them. So that was my role as part of my journey to help heal people in another way. My mother was a nurse, and she physically would help people to heal. And I knew that I was not cut out for that because I couldn't stand the gory stuff. I could not do that. But recently on the anniversary of, I think it was on her birthday, I wrote this post and I said something to the effect that I know you helped heal so many in your lifetime, and I know that you approve of what I'm doing right now because I'm helping to heal people in another way, in a way that's totally different from yours, but in a way that it's mine. So it definitely has changed me. And it has allowed me to believe that there is nothing that's limited or limiting. And if you truly, truly follow your soul's desire and listen to its voice, it will guide you.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's beautiful said, Patty. Follow your soul's desire, that what truly guides you. For me, I was born and raised in Asia, Eastern Asia. And I came here, my husband and I, we met in my country. And then he flew back to Seattle. Then I followed him after 7 years of a long journey, dating journey. So my father and my mother, they were refugees after Civil War. So I was born as the youngest of the family. So my childhood, my mother passed away when I was 5. And my father suffered PTSD through the war. So I didn't know about it at the time. So my childhood trauma probably caused by the single family, by a father has gone through war, but he suppressed his emotions and his memories and tried to be the best father he could be. But it was very, very hard because he has to raise 5 of us. So, and I was very observant, very sensitive, the youngest child. So I was watch him, his day-to-day life and how he deal with the loneliness, how he deal with his emotions and the stress, because I have brothers ill, very, very severe illnesses. So that has bring a lot of pain to his soul. However, he never complained. But God gave me a sensitive heart to see older man. He's 46 years older than me. How his tragic life has, built a very strong character. But he had this burst out anger that he couldn't explain it. So he couldn't explain why he feel the way he feels, and he feel very, I would not say shame, because he didn't know how to control that. So I feel his pain, but I didn't know the words to process. I didn't know the mental health issues at the time. Then took me many, many years, 30, 40 years later, and I finally realized, because that became the source of my motivation, understand the human behavior, understand the human suffering. So my father was the first figure to motivate me to learn and to observe even more, to try to figure it out. And then my husband also had mental health issues, addictions, for 15 years, and then he passed away in 2016. So that's my first half of my life. That's the journey, that a lot of death, a lot of happening in my life, a lot of mental health issues that caused the curiosity and caused me to want to look even deeper about the human suffering. But then God sort of turn my life around, heal me and open the door for me to, getting closer to him. So this is a spiritual journey. So once I'm enlightened, once I enter to his kingdom, I realize, things happen the way it is. And he gave me the tools to heal me. Yeah. So of course, if we want to see very strong-willed woman, because I was trying to do everything on my own. I was very strong-willed because it's a survival instinct, and I need to survive on my own in the foreign country. I had to raise a child, and I have to, take care of a mental health, a husband who is mentally ill, and also had the cancer. He had dealt with cancer for 7 years. So those become my training lessons, how to be resilient. But then I realized most of the lesson I learned are simply to build my characters. They're building my characters. So, but then I understand that after I was enlightened, I have all the spiritual tools. I don't have to rely on myself anymore. And I simply surrender to the higher power, to the teams and God that guide me through this journey. I don't have to control everything. Let go of the control, let go of the shame and guilt and all of this resentment, this energy that doesn't serve me anymore. So those are the process that I had gone through. But again, we are continue to evolve, continue to grow. It's not going to end. It's just that we need to strengthen ourselves and have the faith and believe in this process.
Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome. I want to show you this chakra system. Do you know about the chakra system? If you do know, and each chakra that has served certain purposes, do you know about it?
A little bit.
Okay. I can show you. To tell the truth, I didn't know anything about chakra until this year. So we have a 7 chakra. Are you able to see it? No. We have a 7 chakra. From the root chakra, this is the root chakra. Root chakra deals with survival, and before we were enlightened, it can be blocked by fear. And this is a sacral chakra, right? Petty?
Yes.
And blocked by guilt and deals with pleasure. And this is our solar plexus chakra.
Yeah, solar plexus.
The plexus chakra is blocked by shame and deals with willpower. And this is our heart chakra. It can be blocked by grief and deals with love. And this is our throat chakra. It is blocked by lies and deals with truth. And this is our third eye. It's blocked by illusion and deals with insight. This is a crown chakra. It's blocked by ego attachment and deals with cosmic energy. Have you seen this before? Have you seen this chakra system before?
No.
Yeah, me either. So until this year, I said, oh, wow, that makes sense to me. So the chakra, so when we do meditation, we are, correct me if I'm wrong. So we are constantly aligning this chakra system. So if our chakra system is imbalanced, then there will be, how to say this, symptoms? Can I say symptoms? You can feel, you can feel that something's imbalanced. Gabby is doing meditation, right? So I think meditation should help with aligning the chakra, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So continue to do what you're doing. What I used to do is to pray and surrender myself to higher power, to God. That's what I did. But I didn't know there's a chakra system behind everything I did. And somehow I heal myself. In terms of the physical illness, it's actually after alignment that our energy flowed in the best in our system and can heal ourselves, either emotionally, physically, or spiritually. What do you think? That's my personal experiences. So,
are you asking me or are you asking Gabby?
I do, two of you, both of you.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I agree with everything that you said. A lot of times there are outside, if you will, 3D things in our lives that cause these things to become blocked and do not allow the energy to flow upwards. Back before I became ill, I was at this psychic conference, and there they had this machine where you placed your hand on this machine, and it was able to vibrate up through your chakras, and it would do a printout of where there was something blocked. And of course, before I was diagnosed with Crohn's and before I became ill, that's where there was a block. That's what came up, and it showed clearly on this printout. So it's very interesting that how the body vibrates and resonates in a healthy way when everything's clear and open. And then when there is a blockage, it clearly affects the body and the inability to allow those vibrations to continue through. So it certainly does affect it.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also agree. It's something that I started looking into about a year ago. And I told myself at the time, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure if I connect with this. Almost the acceptance part of it was coming up for me. And now seeing that chart now and being able to relate to both of the experiences that you've both shared here, it resonates differently. And it absolutely, it's like putting words to this feeling of blockages, things that, for me, that weigh on my mind, certain things that come up and it feels like the energy is not flowing. There's a block in the upward flow. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. I haven't seen that particular chart before, so thank you.
You're welcome. Other than, I heard you said journaling, that is a great tool to write down your feelings, and feeling is the language of the soul. Connecting with yourself, that's just the best way to do it. But how about other methods, other tools that Patty you have, or Gabby you have?
Yeah, I can share a little bit. One thing that I've noticed has helped me release over time is tapping. Are you familiar with that tool?
I am. Mm-hmm.
I don't. What is it? Say it again.
Would you be able to explain, Patty, tapping?
Tapping?
I haven't done it for a long time, but tapping is a specific. I used to do it on my inside wrist, is where I used to do it, and it brings focus to allow yourself. And Gabby, again, jump in here anytime, just because I haven't done it for so long. Okay. But it brings focus to that area, and then as a result of the continual tapping, it causes a calming effect. A lot of times people who have anxiety and depression issues will use this. as a way to distract them from what is causing anxiety and stress in their lives. And I used to do it just as a way to sort of help me get into a different state, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how I use tapping. From my understanding, the best that I understand, tapping can be a similar effect on our parasympathetic nervous system, in a similar fashion to acupuncture. So different channels throughout the body, the wrist, I know the temples on the sides of our head, or the very top of our heads, different channels to release kind of that energy through tapping and like activation of it. Something that I use when I am feeling anxiety or feeling stressed, and with some of my life experiences and dealing with trauma, my parasympathetic nervous system and kind of being in that state of fight or flight, that can be activated very easily. So that is kind of one tool that I can use to bring my body back down to a calm state. And it is a great distraction because it's very mindful and focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria, it's sort of something similar to what, remember you a while back, you sent me some information about activating and stimulating the vagus nerve. It's a similar type of effect as that as well.
It's like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tapping the wrist. The
Yeah.
artery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. I'm doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just if you can visualize the same type of what it takes to create a new neural pathway in your brain. What you're doing is you're tapping, and that's allowing that energy to flow more freely there to cause a similar situation to release the anxiety and the stress in your body.
Got it. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you.
Today, our colleague Victor mentioned that, what did he say? He said he orally let go, letting go something he verbally give himself permission, give his soul permission.
Mm-hmm.
Let go of the things that doesn't serve him anymore, doesn't serve him best and highest good. So that verbally expressing it, letting go, it's another way to do it too. And also I heard another one, it's writing down the story or whatever that has caused us anxiety or trauma, writing that story down and then tear them apart, tear them down, cut it off or cut into pieces, like officially saying goodbye. Just let it go. Yeah, visualizing it and just visualizing it, let it go.
So when Victor shared that today, I believe he was talking, and specifically he was talking about someone that he was dealing with in his life. And he said it was more of a distraction than anything, and that it caused him sometimes to not be able to focus on what his mission was. And so when he said about actually facing it and following through and using, words to complete it, I said, yes. I said, because when you do it in your head or in your mind or in your heart, I said, the words, when you speak them out loud, it releases that energy and actually gives it the freedom to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they always say, and it's true, that's why you know, unless words have power and energy, and they tell you never to speak unkindly of yourself, because again, your soul picks up that energy. So yes, you have to be careful that the words that you use, they're very methodically thought out and spoken with love and care. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's why too, Gabby, I'm sure you've seen these, but that's why there are affirmations too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, I started practicing daily affirmations. It's another way to kind of set intentions, and practicing at the beginning of my day, I feel like can kind of set my day in a way. And yeah, there's times where I've had doubt, and I think, why am I doing this? Why am I saying these things if I don't believe them right now in this moment? And it has a very real effect, definitely on our subconscious. We pick up on everything.
Yeah. It's too, I'm sure you've heard the saying before, you fake it until you make it. Sometimes when you have doubt, that's what you have to do. You still have to go through the process. And then once it starts taking effect, then you feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm still learning. Just keep continuing, especially because of the awareness and understanding of, just how we speak of ourselves, just how our words and even our thoughts can really manifest into our reality.
Yeah.
So still choosing the positivity. Yeah.
And it's always a choice. That's the thing. It is a choice, and you have to choose it.
Yeah.
And I think we all know breathing is so important. Breathing techniques, to be in that state of mind, to calm ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. That breathing is like a gateway to get there. I have done this biofeedback a couple of years ago. It was quite expensive at the time, and I literally saw this my heartbeat and my breathing, that how disaligned, and sometimes I forgot to breathe. I was holding, like out of the habit, I hold my breath. So when I was unconsciously, I don't know why I was holding my breath, because out of the nervousness, or anxiety or whatever, I don't know.
I usually do it when I'm stressed. That's when I notice I do it the most, is when I'm stressed. Yeah.
But then I saw that on the printout, because the doctor printed the graph to me, and I was like, whoa, that's so awful. That is so awful. So that motivated me to practice and to visualize my breath, my breathing, whether it's aligned or disaligned. I'm aware what I'm thinking, aware my emotions, aware my feelings, and just need to be observant about what I'm currently feeling right now, and be kind to myself. Take a step back. When we don't want to allow those things hold us back. But in the meantime, we still need to be kind to our current emotions. And find that balance. but one step at the time, one day at a time, one moment at a time.
Mm-hmm. I typically notice it. This is a human thing. I typically notice it when I'm running late and I'm in a hurry to get somewhere. And that's when I feel the stress. Okay. And so I will be driving, totally focused on, getting there, passing a car, whatever. And I'm like going, as I'm doing this, and it finally clicks that this whole time that I've been holding my breath, I'm like, oh, you gotta breathe, and then once I finally do, it's just like it automatically releases so much that has been pent up, and then actually releases the stress that I'm feeling in order to get to some place that I'm going to that I'm late for. So yeah, that's when I really notice it the most. But typically, and any time that we start any of our sessions in which we read for each other or anything, I will automatically do 5-step second. Breathe in, count to 5, breathe out 5 times, just to slow the heart rate and focus the mind so that we can then get into a balanced place.
Beautiful. Yeah. Great suggestion. Just be aware and what we are thinking, and watch our thoughts, and be observant, and just encouraging ourselves one day at a time, and surrender to this process. Yeah. How about Gabby? Would you like to share the final thoughts then before we close our session?
Absolutely. Something that has been on my mind and has definitely come up tonight's meeting is the awareness and the intentions. Knowing the process and trusting the process. It's also a choice, and to choose every day to be aware, to kind of reflect internally, and to set my intentions for myself and for those who are around me. That's what's on my mind right now. And even with thoughts and thinking, I've come to an understanding for myself that my thoughts are kind of a reflection of the emotions I'm feeling, the energy that I'm picking up on, or the energy that I'm holding on to within. And that kind of choosing to change some thoughts that may have a negative impact, to notice how more intentional and loving thoughts, and notice the impact that comes with that too. It's very hopeful, and it's very peaceful too. Something I've strived for as long as I can remember is to have a sense of inner peace, and to live a life that is truly peaceful. And there's been times throughout my journey that I've experienced that, and it's so beautiful and wonderful and inspiring. And so I kind of think of the journey and my experience with my journey as really remembering those moments that are very impactful, those moments of inner peace, how I get there, how I release, and noticing it, and protecting what I take in too. it's, yeah, one day at a time. I used to not think that way. I used to be such a planner, have a rigid schedule, plan everything out, a to-do list for my entire day down to the hour. And now I'm in a place where I kind of see it as like going with the flow. Like I'm living it now. Life will happen as it does. I cannot prepare or plan for something that I haven't experienced yet. And that's okay. But really taking it one day at a time, that is, yeah, that just is. That is just what is. So yeah, thank you both for sharing. It's been really wonderful meeting you, Maria, and being in this space. And it's very educational too. I feel like just learning from others who have a similar experience. It's, yeah, very inspiring to me. So thank you both.
Thank you so much, Gabby. I'm just so honored to cross paths with you. I want to continue to have this similar conversation, and also welcome Patty to continue to join us. So today, thank you so much for both of you attending this conversation, and I'm truly grateful for this wonderful opportunity. Our time is up, so I hope you have a wonderful evening. I know Patty lives in the East Coast, and close to East Coast, 3 hours ahead. So it's late for Patty. So please enjoy the rest of the evening and have a wonderful night. And I will see you next time, okay?
Take care, all. It's very nice meeting you, Gabby. Take care.
Take care. Have a good evening.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.